that wasn't right. And because of those things, um, it can be angry, man. And we think it's about something else, you know. It's if the dude stepped on my shoes, it's oh he bumped into me, you know. It's he shouldn't be looking at me like that. But that's not that's not where it comes from, you know. That's not where it comes from, man. It's some stuff in our history that we have to deal with. And um, it would behoove you to find somebody qualified that you can talk to. Sunshine, blue skies, gotta cry. Feeling too close to cross the Since the pain, oh yeah.
Pivotal moments. Listen, I know it's probably been a couple months. Your girl kind of was slipping, but it's okay. It's 2023. We're about to get back into it, lining up the amazing guests. So I am super excited. So, y'all, this is the first interview of 2023 with my good friend here, Mr. TJ Jackson.
Hey, hey.
We are going to get into this conversation. Y'all know I don't do long bios, so I'm going to toss it on over to TJ to just tell a little bit about who you are, what you got going on.
Okay. Good evening, people. My name is TJ Jackson. I am a business owner, networking with BCN. I have two businesses. One is Hung Right Home Services, where I do small handyman jobs around the home. My tagline is the jobs that you can do but don't want to. So if you think of any of the small jobs around the house that you can do, probably if you YouTube a video or two, but you just don't feel like it or don't trust yourself to have the skills, you call me for those things. I also have a fitness business, virtual online training, where I do fitness with slight work and open hips. And it is a merger of strength training, cardiovascular training, along with mobility and yoga. So it's something that we need as we get older, start to age. We need to keep moving. Um, so yeah, it's just a little bit about what's going on with me.
And I don't know what pivotal moment you're going to talk about, but let me just say how important that whole thing about movement, because listen, I am feeling it. I was just telling my husband, I'm like, what's up with my knees, hips? Like, what is going
hmm
on? So I love what you're saying. It's so true. As we get older, and just all the stuff that's out there, personal health and wellness is so important. So I applaud you for what you're
Thank
doing.
you. It
Now let's
really
get
is. It
into,
really is.
yes. Now, of course, the whole theme of the show is pivotal moments. So what pivotal moment are you going to share with us today?
Whew. Any pivotal moment, right?
Anything you got?
Uh, I would think that a pivotal moment, especially in my life, is was the murder of Trayvon Martin.
Hmm.
The murder of Trayvon Martin really changed my trajectory in life. It was an issue going on in the black community with police brutality. And it was
Mhm.
up until Trayvon Martin, it was something that you kind of knew about. But because that's how you came up, it was what it was. It was like the police beat up black people. They shoot black people. It was a part of, it was just regular. But when
Wow.
Trayvon was killed, and even though it wasn't, of course, by a policeman, it brought a whole lot of attention to police brutality because of the way the situation unfolded. But
Yeah.
what it showed, what his situation showed to me was the injustice of it. And
Yeah.
I had never looked at the injustice of it. Like you knew it was wrong, but it's wrong for everybody with this skin
Mm.
complexion, you
Yeah.
know? Because Trayvon wasn't no gangster, he was
Mhm.
no hoodlum kid. Um, and it changed my whole outlook. And from there, I really started getting into, it started off with the study of just injustices historically, um,
Wow.
which led me to it just illuminated my whole mind, and set me on this path that eventually led to me wanting to own myself. You know,
Mm.
um, I said I don't want to work for people. I really want to own myself because I want to be in a position to be able to do and say what I want, and my money not be affected. Because when your
Right.
money's affected, your family's affected. You know what I mean? Everything around you, especially in America, everything around you becomes affected. But you know, the person I am now, standing in my truth, knowing that there's somebody else holding the reins, makes it hard for me because sometimes I want to say something that they may think is wrong, but I
Hmm.
can't say it because hey, they might stop them checks from coming in. So,
Right.
and that's just one of the ways that I could go on talking about the different changes the killing of Trayvon Martin made in my life.
Wow.
But I think that was the catalyst that really led to the person that you see now. If Trayvon Martin hadn't gotten killed, I'd probably be somebody totally different. Because anyone who
Wow.
knew me prior to that would tell you that that guy's dead. Like
Wow.
I'm totally different. That has to
Wow.
be the pivotal moment of pivotal moments for me. And there were a lot. There was, some other things that happened, but
Yeah. And you know what? First of all, thank you for sharing, something so powerful. I think in one way or the other, all of us in some way was impacted by what happened. But what I'm really appreciating about what you're sharing, we all see bad things happen. Like you said, injustice. And sometimes in the moment, and this is something I get on a soapbox sometimes
mhm,
about, right? Especially in our community. In the moment, sometimes we can, you know, talk loud about the situation, right? But many times we don't do anything after
right.
that. It becomes almost the hashtag of the whatever, the day, the week, the month, the year. We talk loud about it. You may see some people act out in the streets because of their anger, but then oftentimes it stops there. So, what I'm appreciating about what you're saying is you didn't just have a hashtag moment, right? This changed your entire life and it moved you to actually empower yourself.
Absolutely.
That's beautiful.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. In this whole process of growing and changing and letting that mold you, what kind of adjustments did you find that you had to make?
Man, there were quite a few. One of the ones I really had to make was humbling myself
Mm,
because when you start to see the world for what it is,
mm,
um, it becomes easy for you to understand certain concepts and ideas that other people don't.
Mm,
And that could make you feel greater than,
mm, mm-hmm,
sometimes.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
And I had to really look back and, because I'm constantly checking myself. So I had to say,
mm-hmm.
hey, that was you, right? Not too
Yeah,
long ago. You was
yeah.
that same person.
I'm saying.
So how about a little grace? How about, you
Mm,
show a little ease and not think so highly of yourself because you were that
mm.
same person at one time,
Wow.
right?
Wow. I'm telling you, I know right now, whether you're tuned in, listening, tuned in, watching, you probably are feeling the same thing I'm feeling in that it's refreshing. It's refreshing to just hear a Black man talk about humbling himself. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that Black men are not humble. I'm not saying that. You would not say the big sis said that. No. But I'm saying that you don't often hear them talk about the
Mm,
process, right? You don't often hear them talk about having to make that mind shift to become humble.
right.
So again, appreciate you sharing that. And to that point, to our men who are listening to this, what do you want to say to them just about, I mean, because the Trayvon Martin thing was a while ago, but let's be honest, not much has changed
No,
since
it hasn't.
then. Right? So, what do you want to say to Black men based on the things you're sharing today? What message do you want to say to them? You say how much time we
Oh
got?
man. Ah, there's just so many. There's so much I could
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
So I think that one message I would really like to extend out is the importance of mental health,
Mm,
especially with men. I'm 45. Men in my generation and especially generations above me. Um, let's be honest with ourselves. We had some things in our history. Getting a little emotional.
yeah.
One minute, I'm sorry.
No, it's take your time.
We've had some things in our history that wasn't right.
Yeah.
And because of those things, um, it can be angry, man. And we think it's about something else, you know. It's it's the dude stepped on my shoes. Oh, he bumped into me. You know, it's he shouldn't be looking at me like that. But that's not that's not where it comes from. You
Mm-mm.
know, that's not where it comes from, man. It's some stuff in our history that we have to deal with, and
Yeah.
um, it would behoove you to find somebody qualified that you can talk to about those things
Wow.
because this is one of the reasons that I believe, um, man, it was just shooting out here. You know, 4 people shot, 1 dead.
Yeah.
And it don't have to be that way. Because let's be honest, it probably was over something stupid when it
Yeah.
comes down to it. You know?
Yeah.
Um, damn, I didn't know how that was gonna come out. But
Yeah.
if I had a message for black men, dang man, get some help. Please get some help because you ruining other people's lives for and you don't have to.
Yeah.
Because you're really not to blame, man. Some stuff happened
Yeah.
to you. It wasn't your fault. So, and sometimes you need help letting that go, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm not even thinking about my trauma,
Right.
you know? These tears are not even from me. I'm just thinking about so much violence in my community. And I
Yeah.
know that talking to somebody that's qualified can help. And I just feel for my brothers, man, because some people just don't do it. And it's sad because it's like, oh wow, your life will be tough because having these conversations is going to be tough. It's going to hurt. But after that, life is great.
Yeah.
Life is great after that. Certain things don't matter no more. You know,
Yeah. Wow. What a powerful, powerful message. And again, I appreciate your transparency and allowing that to come out. And here's the thing, I know that message was to other Black males, but for our women watching, listening, I want you to really take that in, what you experienced just now with TJ, because, and I know we could literally do a whole nother show about
yeah,
this,
especially
but
with me.
as women, we have to really understand what our Black men are coming into any relationship, and I'm talking business, platonic, romantic, whatever, right? Friendship. We have to understand now. You just saw or heard TJ emotional, and he shared with us this wasn't even over his own trauma. This was grieving and in pain and emotional over the trauma of the Black male community and what's happening because of it. So when we enter into these friendships, relationships, let's try to remember that. Let's try to remember that we are talking to and dealing with a community that doesn't even necessarily grieve their own trauma and pain. They're carrying the weight of their brothers that they can't do anything about. I think that's powerful for us to remember that and think about that when we have our conversations, when we get into these relationships, when we say certain things. Like I said, we need to have a part two because I've talked about this before, but even with young boys, sometimes Black mothers, man up and don't cry and these type of words, and it's like, let's be very careful, right? Our Black men are fragile, they're hurting, and they're carrying a heavy, heavy weight and burden. So thank you for sharing that, really, with all of us, TJ.
Yeah, no doubt. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So as we kind of wrap this up, right? We've touched on so many things. I know you left your message to the Black male community, but if for some reason the person didn't get anything out of anything you've shared up to this point, What is that one last thing that you want people to just remember from this conversation? If nothing else, they take this one
Real
thing.
easy. That's real easy for me. Two things. Number one, love yourself. Because you know what? Nobody else's opinion really matters. And we can nitpick in that conversation, say, oh well, yeah, do, because what if they think, okay, yeah, but in the big scheme of things, it don't matter. And what I mean by that is if someone thinks you're unattractive because you're overweight, that's not your problem. That's theirs. Because there are no laws to what's attractive and what's not attractive. There are no laws to what's beautiful and what's not. There are no laws to what's sexy and what's not. There's only what people think, which means that you can define that for yourself. You
Mm.
know, you just got to wake up and say, I'm sexy as a mug today. You can be sexy too, but sexy really looks like this. Because can nobody else say that, that there's no law? It's what you want it to be. So
Yeah.
that's number one. Love yourself. Love yourself. Give yourself props. Tell yourself you love yourself. You know.
Mm.
And number two, be happy. Be happy. Make happiness a priority in your whatever that means. Because here's the hard part about happiness, real quick. Here's the hard part about happiness. Sometimes it's gonna make somebody else sad.
Mm.
And because that somebody else is somebody close to us, we would put our happiness on hold because we don't want to see them sad. But what does that do to you inside? You know? So what's another hard conversation that you might have to have? I'm sorry, but I don't want to kill myself for you. And this stress, this depression, this heartache is killing me. And I'm finna do what I'm finna be happy.
Wow.
And if you really love me, you just gonna, take my hand and support me and say, go be happy, because that's what you do for people you love, right? You want them happy.
Yeah.
So it may not the conversation may not go the way you think it is, but it's one that you need to have. Be happy, love yourself, prioritize happiness.
Listen, now y'all know I will grab a quote, throw it on a mug, and claim it. So you got 3 seconds to claim it, because that prioritize your happiness look like it need to be right. Let's see, if you watching this right on my back wall, I think I got a place for that to be a poster. No, but that seriously, I love that. Prioritize your happiness.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow. Now, so you mentioned both your businesses. So once again, and of course it'll be in the show notes, but how can people find you? How can they reach you for your health, your physical part, the physical fitness, I'm thinking handyman services. I know that's not what you said, but that's just what
Yes, that
my
is what I said. Absolutely.
okay.
That's what we're gonna call it, handyman service.
How can they find you?
Okay, so I am on Facebook and Instagram at SWOP Training. Facebook and Instagram at Hung Right Home Services for the handyman. And you can also find both of those at swaptraining.com and hungrighthomeservices.com. So,
Awesome. And if you're watching this, it's on the screen. It's also in the show notes. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if people you really speak so well and you really get the point across. So are you interested in doing any type of motivational speaking? You going to schools, talking to the young folks? Are you interested in doing that?
absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. I love to get in
Look,
front of some people
it's the
and
beginning.
tell them what to do.
Hey, it's 2023. We're leveling up. We're making moves. and we're letting our voice be heard. So if y'all again tuned in and you want TJ to come talk to the youngins, talk to your brother, do a motivational presentation, reach out to him at those information that's in the show notes.
Yes, indeed. I will try to make myself available to anyone who reaches out. I promise you that.
Yes. Awesome. All right. Well, once again, thank you, TJ, for coming, for kicking off 2023 for Pivotal Moments. I'm super excited. I really, again, appreciate it. I know we actually been working on this. It was going to be 2022, but you know what? All things happen the way they're supposed
Absolutely.
to. So I love that we had this conversation. Appreciate everything that you do, being a part of Business Crossing Network. And you know, the one swap class that I took was amazing, actually, y'all. I'm serious. So don't feel like I can't do it. He really is good at getting you to be able to do the moves and really get your body where it needs to be. So I could go on and on. Again, thank you all out there. Please make sure to, again, in the show notes, reach out to me. Again, if you see me slipping and you don't see these episodes coming, let me know on Instagram at My Natural Me Woman, Facebook at My Natural Me Woman. Hit me up. Again, the email's out there. So we can keep this going. I'm going to be more consistent this year. So thank you so much. And we will see you next time on Pivotal Moments.
Thank you, Lita.
You're welcome. Yeah.